Now on to the information items and the administrator's report.
Keep it on protecting you on this one.
Good evening, everyone. First off, I'd like to give public notice of first readings for policies 163, 322, 323, as well as the guideline to 323, 342, as well as the guideline to 342, policy 346, and policy 352. Again, those are the first public notice notification of some modifications that are upcoming to those policies that are being proposed. For policy 163, it's a clarification on board development opportunities. Policy 322, clarification on makeup days. Policy 323, some additional statutory recognition or observance days were listed that were not previously listed. Policy 342 is in regards to the Section 504 process, and that policy and its guidelines have been completely overhauled in response to changes in law. Policy 346 clears up the verbiage that is not just limits our assessment to WKCE, and policy 352 provides some clarification and some changes regarding field trips. So that stands as our first notice. And then there are a couple of policies that are coming this evening for second notice and also action a little bit later on the agenda. And those policies are 120, 133, and 425. 120 is regarding basically the description of the district being a common district rather than a unified district. Policy 133 about filling board vacancies is that the person needs to be an eligible elector or citizen of the district in order to qualify or run for the school board. And the last piece with 425 regarding open enrollment makes the process more efficient for the exception provision of open enrollment application process. Aside from that, a couple of items to discuss with the board and a couple of people to recognize publicly. First off, board members, I want to mention to you, we have a cook or a food service employee who's worked for the district for 40 years. Okay, so she's worked with the district, and of course now she's working with Taher. And she celebrated her 75th birthday on Friday, and they recognized her over at Fox River because that's where she's stationed most of the time. So I want to give a big thanks and congratulations to Joyce Buell-Blacker. And like I said, she's been a long time face and dedicated employee of the food service program here. Thanks and congratulations, of course, go out to all the music teachers at the elementary level for some outstanding concerts the last week and a half. And then, of course, this week are the Fox River concerts, Tuesday night and Thursday night, both are at 6:30. Special thanks to Mrs. Nelson and her band leadership group. They did an activity down at Pick and Save this last weekend, and I believe it was for the Salvation Army.
Right.
Yeah. So a nice charitable activity that they were involved in. The two pieces that just were looking for direction regarding the next step in the food service process. If you recall, I sent you some updates regarding Taher's forecasted budget if we were to move away from the federally subsidized program. And that would result in approximately, $35,000 to $40,000 deficit. My question is, as board members, what would you like me to direct Taher to do? Would you like me to basically ask them to start the bidding process, therefore staying in the federally subsidized program? Or shall we pursue the non-subsidized program a little bit farther? And of course, the question is, how do we make up the revenue, the lost revenue, and what do we do for the kids that are free and reduced? So I'm interested in your input. The only reason why is we have to move that process in January.
Okay, So we can't wait till our January 13th committee meeting to hash it out.
We could,
I'm open to waiting until January 13th.
okay,
I'm also interested in your 36,000 deficit, if I read that correctly, was with the free reduced lunch program included.
right,
Okay, so we don't have to offer the same categories as the federal government dictates on free reduced.
correct.
Okay, so we can modify that to what we need to. All right, and I'd like to discuss that. And actually, I think this is more discussion of P and F than the costing issue.
Okay. All right, Well, we'll put on
We're
P&F.
a lunch program, whether or not, so that's not really the issue.
okay,
But I think with all the restrictions that the federal government's coming down with, reduction in food quantity, the new restrictions coming out this next school year, I think it behooves us to look at modifying and going away from the federal government.
okay.
So,
All right, so we'll schedule that for a P&F discussion. Do you want to add anything, Dawn? I just want to make sure you weren't.
No,
Okay.
I'm fine with waiting until January.
Okay. Doug?
I think that's amazing.
All right, what I'll do, if it's okay, I'll invite the regional manager from Tahoe to come to that meeting to explain the pros and cons of the documents that he's sending to that.
yeah, because I think at this point, a lot of school districts are looking at this.
They are.
Those that can afford it, I mean, if you're Rocky MPS or Scene, where you have so many people in free reduced, you can't do it.
And from what I've been told, there are many districts that are looking at it, but at the same time, once they've looked at it, they realize that they can't afford to quite jump
Yeah.
out of the program yet. So.